Welcome, boys and girls. I'm Scuba Winters, and today we're here with the stage and stream schedule for the Berlin Fan Festival for Final Fantasy XIV. So, the Berlin Fan Fest will be taking place on Saturday, July 25th, and day 2 being Sunday, July 26th, with the 7.55 patch itself coming out July 28th, though not important here, but at least I'll say it. With this, stage and event times are subject to change, and this really is just saying you can co-stream if you are a other streamer, but we highly recommend you maybe not stream on YouTube due to their content ID and whatnot. Like stuff like the trailer will most likely get you dinged. So, with that being said, day 1 will have the keynote opening at 1 a.m. These are all Pacific Standard Time, so we have 1 a.m. to 3:15 a.m. So 2-hour, 15-minute live keynotes. That's nice. Pretty much this will cover all of the new things that will be coming out in Evercold. More of the trailer. It'll most likely open with more of the trailer. So we know what the 24-man is, probably talk about what the 8-man is, and show off one of the classes. Whether we get the range, physical, or tank, that's kind of up to whoever. Though also, he is known for wearing shirts based on, for hints, so kind of look at what he's wearing could be a hint of the other class that doesn't get shown. After the keynote address, you'll have the opening ceremony. The attending guests from the Final Fantasy XIV development and operations team greet attendees and officially kick off the show, even though the show has been going on for 2 hours with the keynote. But with that being said, a parade of all the dev people who are going to be doing things at FanFest. And this will be 15 minutes. From 3:15 to 3:30. We're going to take a small half-hour break with the development panel from 4 to 5:30 a.m. and explore the creation and implementation of various sound effects in Final Fantasy XIV with the lead sound designer. I'm going to attempt these names, but forgive me. Ganuya? Okay, then we have the community team spotlight. So the community panel from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Again, these are all Pacific Standard Time. They're not having super early in the morning fan fest in Berlin, so tune in for a look behind the scenes with the European community team. Learn all about how they gather feedback, work on social media projects, and contribute to events, and try to bridge the gap between players and developers. Oh yeah, and while Gokunia is one of the presenters, of course, Soken is also going to be one of the presenters. That did throw me off for a second. They're talking about music and mentioned Soken. With presenters, I know none of these names. Julia Hopner, Kevin Borford, Matthew Nold, and Natasha Chang, and Steph Cowell. All of these are going to be in, this will be in English. Of course, the keynote, opening ceremony, and dev panel will have translations with all of the Japanese-speaking developers, so don't mind that, though I think JP also had translations. But with that being said, we are getting the letter of the producer live in the FanFest, since the patch is only going to be a few days before, or a few days after the FanFest. They're just going to do it here. Join Yoshi and Foxconn as they sit down with Masaki Akagawa, Final Fantasy XIV's lead battle content designer for all things Beastmaster, in the next letter from the producer live, which is kind of weird that they're not going to talk about that they're focusing on Beastmaster and not anything that we're going to see from Occult Crescent, which will be in the content. Yes. Okay, and then to end day one will be the piano concert. While all of these will be streamed for free, the piano concert you will have to pay for. The hall darkens, a spotlight illuminates. A grand piano, Keiko returns to guide us through cherished themes, quiet crystalline passages, swelling into cathartic crescendos that trace our adventure across Eorzea and beyond. Prepare for an intimate set that turns memories into music. But again, you gotta pay for that, so enjoy that. So day 2, we're gonna open with Crystalline Conflict Regional Championship, Europe and Oceania. 4 semifinalist teams bring excitement to the main stage of Fan Festival. To battle it out to see who claims the European and Oceania champion title. This will be at 1 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. Naoki's room at 4:30. Okay, so they're gonna take an hour break after Crystalline Conflict. So for 4:30 to 5:45, Naoki's room returns to Fan Festival in Berlin, inviting you to settle in for another relaxed conversation with Yoshi P, celebrating the people, story, and experience that make the world of Final Fantasy XIV so special. And then from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., the Glimmer to Light cosplay walk. Hopefully they have this fixed for the EU Fan Fest, because apparently this was kind of a mess in NA, so we invited cosplayers of all skill levels to strut their stuff on stage for everyone to come see. I'm going to enjoy the pageantry and dedication on display. So, we have that, and then we end off day 2 with the Primals live at 10:30 to 12 p.m. When the amps kick on, the entire hall becomes a giant raid party. The Primals, led by sound director Masahiro Sakurai, unleash a set that's designed to get your heart pumping and head banging. Bring your LED light sticks and rock along with the band. Again, like the piano concert, this will also be a paid stream, so you won't be able to stream this for free. So there is that to take care of. And with that, that is it for FanFest. As, you know, mainly it's day 1 that has a lot of the main meat and potatoes, so it's going to be the keynote is going to be where we're going to get all of our main information, more of a trailer, mainly more of what's going to be in Evercold. Again, we're probably going to see 8-man raids, you know, what that theme's gonna be, one of the classes. Well, just new lore stuff of, like, new races and, you know, things that are gonna be happening in the story. I know they had, like, battle content and whatnot to show off in NA. I see they're probably gonna talk about that more so in JP, because it'll just be more closer to the actual launch, and I'll probably have a better idea of how everything's going ahead, because I don't think they're just gonna, like, go in and just fully reiterate all the things they just said of, like, hey, we're changing things. Okay, we're changing things still. Like, that's all they're gonna possibly say. But then again, I mean, there are not a lot of smarties in the 14 community, so they probably will have to, like, actually reiterate the same thing again and again and again. And maybe people might, like, take to it. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. What are you looking forward in the fan festival? Is there any kind of theme you'd like to see for the 8-man raid, or what classes are you looking forward to? And if not, just leave a comment if you want to talk about something else. What'd you have for breakfast? I don't know. Maybe some cereal, some waffles. Put that in the comments. Pancakes or waffles? What's it gonna be? Know that you will be hated no matter what decision you make. But still, we want to know. Even though I say we, even though I'm only alone. But until then, I've been Tsukuba Winters, saying bye.